Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Decon12 coming at you with the second patch notes of Season 7. Like I said last patch that they're expecting a quick rollout on patches for the next few following the preseason into the regular season. And with the LCS recently happened last weekend, I'm really excited to see what kind of changes have been made. If you watched my last video, you know I like to try to do like my predictions of what I'm kind of expecting to see be touched in the patch. So for this one, when you're talking champions, I would like to see more to Camille. They touched her last patch, they didn't touch her enough. They need to do something about her shield, or something about her base damage. Something needs to be touched on her. She was way too strong. And it's just everything with her kit and her damage. She's way too strong right now. I think everybody knows it. And LCS showed it. Pick ban in 100% games was the #1 priority for every team. I would like to see a nerf to Rengar. I think something should change on him. I don't play him enough, but I know he's really annoying. I don't think you can take away his Empower W. I think that's kind of what makes him who he is at this point. But maybe nerf something on his damage, or maybe some cooldowns. Maybe the scaling of some of his abilities, or the duration of his CC immunity. I don't know. I'd like to see that touched. I would like to see something with ADC's change. I don't know. I don't think you can do another full item rework, even though they didn't mention possibly doing it. But they did that like, what, 1.5 seasons ago, 2 seasons ago. So maybe some new items will be changed. If they would do something about lethality, or bring back like the original armor pin, or give you an option to have like the lethality for scaling, or like the flat armor pin. Buffs, I don't really know who they're going to buff at this point. Obviously, there's a lot of weak champions, so I don't really know, don't really care. Nerf-wise, I feel like the Syndra nerfs were enough. I wasn't sure how I felt about last patch, but I do feel like they were enough. Trying to think about anybody else. Rise as well. I think he's. I thought they needed to do more to him, but I think he's actually in a very strongly balanced. Like, I don't think he's super OP. I mean, he's definitely very, very strong, but I don't think he's like insanely OP to where he needs any kind of nerfs. Maybe I can see a little bit with his late game damage. I would actually. I know it's kind of part of his kit, but it gets a little crazy. But I don't think you need to touch it. Itemizations, I'm still waiting to see something done to Locket, something done to Redemption. I think everybody's looking to that. Maybe a few tweaks on some ADC items you might possibly see, just to help the ADC meta out. Top lane, I feel like all the items there are fine. I think everything's good there. And I guess that's really all I have for predictions. Not a whole lot going on here. I would love to see some kind of news on the practice client. I am super excited about it. I seem to be the only one, but I do a lot of practice in them all the time just because it's easier to do with the kid and whatnot. So, with my predictions done, let's go ahead. Let's hop in and let's see what they got changing. So going straight in here, welcome to 7.2, which is a continuation of the preseason follow-up, but also with the new dog. Oh yeah, and the Warwick. Obviously, Warwick's getting reduced. With the dust from the obsessive date settled, beefing up lethality to put some mid-game power and snowball potential back in everybody's favor. That is exciting. Like I said, I knew they would do something for it. I don't know. I have to read what it is, see if it's enough. Continue to work on a carefully reduce early game jungle dominance, and this is cutting down the amount of health junglers have during their first ganks. While Redemption and Courage of Colossus were both exciting preseason debuts, we're taking Courage of Colossus. I said that one last time. I expect to see something change with that one. Alternative feeling bad about it. Alright, let's just jump into the champions. Obviously, Warwick, complete rework. Play him to know him. I don't know enough. I haven't watched the reveal, so maybe it's cool, maybe it's not. Looks like our Akali, her ultimate AP ratio is getting a 10% buff. Pretty strong. We've played Akali before. I don't play a whole lot of Akali in general. But I feel like that would, I mean, anytime you get 10% buff to her R, which is like the strongest part of her kit, then absolutely. I truly think that would be a good thing for her. Darius, passive damage reduced on early levels. Hallelujah. Q damage reduced when hit by the handle. I like that. That is a very good change to Darius, I think, because his early game was just way too strong. Even without his resets, I mean, you can easily get all in there on level 2, level 3 if you don't play it right. So I actually like to see that. Very good, very good. How much is this? So it went from 40 to 30, 30, 35. So pretty much down 10 on all levels. That's actually kind of big. And then levels, so it's hit it pretty much across the board, even at the last rank. And the Q is only 30% of blade damage. That's not bad. Ooh, Gragas, please be good. I used to one-shot Gragas. His armor is increased, which will help his sustain in the early parts of the jungle, I feel, and his heal and passive increase. So his sustain, which I never really felt was a huge issue by him, got increased by 3, and then the healing 6% of max health. So he's going to be incredibly healthy throughout the jungle. Again, I don't really think that was his issue before, though, to be honest with you. I thought Gragas was in a decent state, probably like a little bit subpar, but definitely playable, just not top tier. So, I mean, honestly, a buff to him, a buff to anybody makes him a little bit stronger. So maybe I'll play it and give it a try out, but I don't see this affecting it too much. It's kind of contradicting because they say they're trying to put trying to knock the early jungler full clear, still pretty much be full health thing, and this kind of is gonna keep him full health. So, True Grit Graves. True Grit refreshes off of any instance of damage. So is that like his Qs? That is very good in my opinion. It will help you keep your quick draw going from camp to camp. It would be a lot easier to keep them stacked. I think you can stack it up to 4 or 5. I haven't played it with Graves. I think it's 5. But that's going to be pretty good for him. I mean, it's obviously not super game changing, but it will definitely keep up your efficiency in the jungle clears and just that ability to stay even healthier. So I see a common denominator here. They want everybody not to be so healthy, and now they're keeping everybody super healthy. Katarina, I guess we all saw the solo queue buffs coming down on this one. Even though she didn't do too well in the LCS this weekend, her E ratio on her Shumpo is down from 0.65 total attack damage to 0.5. So her AD ratio is getting nerfed on E. So not totally huge, but definitely a nerf. I still think she'll be pretty strong, pretty viable. Oh, Lulu. Passive damage up, Q mana cost reduced. This is beautiful. I've always been a fan of Lulu. I think she's a great support. Passive damage is up. Damage is from 9 to 105 to 115 to 117. Pixie's damage now increases every level rather than every 2 levels. So I think that's pretty good for her early game. And her Glitter Lance costs down substantially. I think they really like what they saw in the LCS. I don't know how long they've been working on this one or not, but I like it. I think this is good. Again, it's not like game changer. It's not gonna make her a like super all of a sudden OP because the changes aren't that big, but definitely makes you a little bit more wanting to play her. Massey, Double Strike no longer fizzes if the first hit kills a unit. Meditate pauses E and R durations and stacks Double Strike. Wait, what? That confuses me. We're not kidding. Rude Meditate's insta-cancel uses with these changes. Instead, we're making the channel more appealing and less punishing, so the decision isn't quite so lopsided. Okay, so the passive, like Lucian, if Double Strike's first hit kills a unit, the second strike now searches for a new target with 300 range. Prioritizes killing blows. Okay, so that makes sense. There's a smarter AI within his Double Strike. And his Meditate is Channel Meditate pauses the duration of E, Wuju style, and R Highlander. So it doesn't cancel it. I don't recall if it did or did not before. There's a 1 stack of Double Strike per second while channeling. So that's actually, it's overall, it's a buff to him because I'm assuming beforehand, whenever you would, if you're in your ultimate and you had to do your W for damage reduction using his meditation, that you would just be running through your ult and Double Strike timing. And so I think this right here actually helps it. Like, it definitely does. That actually might be pretty game changing, you know, when you go into a fight and you can still maintain that and pause it. So let's say your ult's like 4 or 5 seconds, you have to meditate for 2 or 3 of those seconds. You don't lose your ult, you still get to keep it. So especially with his resets and things like that, I think it'd be good. Nidalee, the LCS queen last year. Base health and human E's heal up. Human W now functions like wards. I wonder what the range on that would be. Traps are now invisible, have 3 health, and are disabled by control wards. Kind of like a Teemo Shroom. That's maximum traps you can have is 4, 6, 8, and 10. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting because now you can kind of really treat it like a Teemo Shroom. Just put it somewhere else where they might step on it and grant you vision of them. That's very strong. The heal up on her E, which is what I think she actually did need to become a top tier jungler again, is still very strong. 20 maximum base heal, minimal base heal. Yeah, so she is getting 10 points more on every heal, it seems. Yep, every heal across the board, she gets 10 points more. So I think that might be pretty strong for her early clear, or at least that mid, like that second clear. Yasuo. Okay, that's exciting. E damage down. Now has an AD ratio. Huh. So new. Now has a. So it's got 10 less damage. Wow, this stuff's really strong late game on his E. 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, and now it ends 50 damage less. It's, what is that, like 33% less at the end of it? I don't know, not good at math. Don't worry about it. And then it has a 0.2 bonus attack damage reduction. Does not increase with stacks of Sweeping Blade. So stacks with 20% of your bonus attack damage. So I don't know if that's really a nerf. I mean, I can definitely understand why it's nerfed so much late game with the 50 overall. So I would say, let's say you have about bonus 80. Let's say you have about 200, 300, 20, 40. So it honestly cancels each other out once you're full bid. I don't think it's that much different. I think it might change the build path a little bit to where you want some more AD versus the full crit. But I think it kind of goes hand in hand. Lethality in the items. Let's go. Well, that was an introduction just over the top mid-game spike physical damage deals enjoyed toward the end of 2016. It's clear we've gone too far in the other direction. When lethality items do appear in builds, they're often as a third or fourth item. This presents a conundrum. Most lethality items are accompanied by out-of-combat movement speed to facilitate early to mid-game roams and ganks. But the math just doesn't support the investment over the concrete purchase. So while we're tuning up lethality's damage no matter when you buy it, the change most favors early purchases. Finishing a Dirk or perhaps a Duskblade once you've started to procure lead will more consistently push assassins over the edge threshold they need to be snowball rolling. I love what I'm hearing. So this is perfect to me. I've been saying this the entire time. The problem with lethality was its early game, and like season 5 or season 6 really shifted to a snowball win lane win game type of meta. And what lethality did was slow that snowball potential, because if you're unfamiliar how lethality worked, it was you would gain 40% of that armor penetration. Let's just say you had 10 for easy math. Let's say you had 10 lethality. You would gain 4 armor penetration at that exact moment, and then the other 60% would scale off of your opponent's level, not your level, which is another problem I had with it. So I said the changes they need to do to it, they need to kind of flip the math on it, or they need to switch it to where it scales with your level and not your opponent's level. So it looks like here they actually have done that. They have made it 60% of its value as flat armor penetration. The remainder scales with the enemy champion. That is perfect to me, because now if you have 10 armor, you're getting 60% of it right away. So it's still a nerf to armor penetration. It now makes more sense to have. So now 10 lethality now grants 6 flat armor penetration up front, plus 0.22 per enemy level capping at the full 10 once enemy level 18. Yeah, so they're using example 10 too. They must not like math like me. So that is awesome. I think that is a huge change to lethality items. Like champions, to me, like that directly got buffed from this. Like champions, like, well, I mean, obviously a lot of your ADCs possibly, Talon, Zed, Wukong. A lot of them champions that depended so much on armor penetration now just got that much stronger, because this is effectively a good snowball stat now, or better snowball stat. It's not as good as armor pen was, but it's still much better. Like I said, Duskblade Jackdaw, Edge of Night. That actually might be a very good item now. Are they changing it? The active cooldown reduced, so yes. Do they have armor pen on that? I don't know if they have lethality or not on that. Okay. So I thought these are all the items that have it. Damage after having not been seen increase. So Duskblade Jackdaw will be very good on champions like Kha'Zix, or with AD Invisible style champions, Wukong. Zed, I'm curious if it works with his ult, because technically can't see him, I don't know. But that could be pretty good. Night Stalker damage is now 25 more than it was before. So it was 50, now 75. That's pretty big. Edge of Night, it looks like its cooldown was reduced to 30 seconds. I like Edge of Night. It's a very, very good underutilized one. It's like a mini Morgana shield that you can just go into fights with as an AD assassin. So good, so good. Hextech Gunblade, active reduced at early levels. So while Akali herself got a buff and Katarina got nerfed, the Hextech Gunblade as well got nerfed early game. So won't, in my opinion, affect Gunblade too much, because, yeah, let's face it, you don't really use it that much early on anyway. You have to complete the item. Let's see. Oh, actually no. Okay, that is a little bit bigger. So it was 250 at all levels, and now it scales off your level, starting at 175. So yeah, it's definitely a nerf throughout the entirety of a game. So that will be pretty substantial. You're talking about a difference now, like at level. I'm assuming that, let's say you're about level 9 when you probably complete it, or 8, and so now you're probably looking at 200 versus 250 for the rest of the game for the most part. So Redemption. Here we go. Finally called it. Health down at lower level. Oh, heal down at lower levels. What? Okay, I think that makes sense. Mana regeneration up. Okay, so the health it gives you is 300. The mana regeneration has been buffed significantly. And the heal was 130, 20 per target level. And then now it's 40 plus 25 per target level. So that is a huge heal nerf. Like, wow, like that's almost over the top in my opinion. So you get more per level that you are, which is good. But it went from 130 to 40. That is a huge nerf to it. Still very cost-effective item. Still would be built on a lot of supports. Still a great item. Still go with it. It just sucks to see it get nerfed that hard. But maybe it's needed because it was super broken, especially for the cost. Honestly, wanted to see a little bit more. Maybe nerf the healing a little bit. The health I don't think really need to be nerfed that much. I kind of like that stat on, I'm not going to lie. But I think the cost actually need to be risen for what its stats were. So this just makes it more of a... makes sense cost-wise. Nice Vow. Looks like they're nerfing the cost of it. Okay. That's pretty good for some supports like the build. The correct 80 carries. Eye of the Equinox. Cost was increased by 100, but it does as well offer cooldown reduction. Huh. I think I could really see that. Like, I'm interested to see if that starts to get built more. I don't think it will, honestly. I don't think that changes it too much. The cooldown reduction is what's going to sell it for me. 100 gold to get that extra 10% cooldown reduction is extremely good, especially on like your tanky champs like your Brahms will do it, Alistar, any of your tanky frontliners like Thresh maybe. I can see it. Again, it's like these items that you don't really see being built now, so they're not trying to get them built. I'd like it. That's cooldown reduction is such an important stat. Ardent Sensor attack speed and health drain buffs now scale with target's level. So it gives you 20% based on the target's level. Okay. And then health drain buff 30-35. Okay, so makes Shiraki even stronger. That sucks. Or even Karma actually. Chalice of Harmony, Magic Resist up. I think they're just trying to sway people into other MR items, in my opinion. With this one, so it's up by 5 and all. Yeah, up by 5. Okay, not bad. Jungle tuning. Jungle monsters spawn 3 seconds later. Another hit to junglers. Jeez 'em. Okay, I gotta read this one. As we've discussed several times with you, junglers have too much control over the early games. Last patch saw adjustments to the payoffs of the camp clearing. This patch we're addressing how sharply the risk of early ganking has fallen since preseason. First up, the initial jungle spawn timers. With how early monsters spawn, laners are able to give smiteless leashes at no cost. This allows junglers to take very little damage on the first camp, saving smites, damage, nuke, and sustain for later. Laners still have the option to give their junglers strong leashes, but will now pay the cost of missing a minion to do so. That is not going to be a big issue in my opinion. The 3 seconds is about that fine mark, but in my opinion, if you're playing, especially in comps with somebody, your support should almost always, there should still be a smiteless leash. I don't think this is going to change that. Your ADC might have to leave a little bit earlier, so it's going to slow your clear of the camp by like 1 second. But there's no reason your support couldn't help you close it out with no smite leash and still get there in time, or at least be in range to get XP. Don't think it's going to affect too much. It does make it a little bit harder for solo queue though, because obviously not a lot of people understand that, especially not in my crappy elo. So, next, camp damage. The Raptors pose threat through sheer numbers. The small chickens will mess junglers up even if they burst a large one. But less populated camps don't have the same trade-off. Junglers who are capable of bursting the large monster take almost no damage with the camp overall. In the case of Gromp, we're doubling down on his predicament and dealing a ton of damage up front, while the Ancient Krug is merely getting more damage. So the Gromp will, Jesus Christ, go from 45 to 70 attack damage. Attack damage decreases over the first 5 attacks to 50. Wow, that actually hurts. First two attacks are now shown as critical strikes. That kind of sucks. It's just, I think they're starting to nerf the jungle too much. I think their XP nerfs were perfect last season. I felt like this patch the junglers were very, very balanced. But we'll see. Basic attack damage for the Krug is from 60 to 80. Honey fruits will spawn between 6 and 630. That sucks as well. Kind of helps that sustain thing. I mean, it's definitely, all these changes are going to affect the jungle, like, big time. Like, they will accomplish what they wanted to out of this. I think they might be going a little bit overboard with it, but by doing this, what they're going to do is they're really going to limit the number of champions that can effectively be played in the jungle now. Like, I think they should have left it where it was. I don't think any of this really needed. Maybe the timer thing might have been the only thing I can agree with, but the damage, like, if they're going to do this, I would have actually liked to see the Raptors get nerfed a little bit. Like, the small Raptors, the Crimson Raptors, deal so much damage. Like, the trade-off isn't there if you're going to put this damage throughout the entirety of the jungle. So we shall see. I'm kind of thinking about shifting on to the mid lane meta at this point. Risk killer now. Eat nearby hunter fruit. If you kill them while they're eating, you have no heart. That's funny. Courage of Colossus should be the go-to pick for tanky champions who want to dive in the enemy team and not die immediately. So the shear duration is down to 3 seconds, and the base shield is a massive nerf, it looks like. So levels, it went from 10 to 180 between levels 1 and 18 to 3 to 54 between 1 and 18. Per any champion. Yeah, that seems like a pretty oh, I'm confused. Per enemy champion. So it looks like Walls okay. I think they're trying to get it to where it's more focused on the entirety combo of the team. Per enemy champion, maximum 15 to 270. Yeah, so obviously a big hit, but like if you can get a good 5-man ult with the enemy team around there, it's gonna be much stronger than what it was before, it seems. So I'm actually okay with that change. Courage of Colossus was very strong. Ghost, oh yeah. Ghost takes time to ramp up to its maximum movement speed. Oh, that sucks. I'm okay with this still. 0 to 60 and takes 2 seconds down, it looks like. I'm okay with that. I'm just really glad that they did not take a hit to its cooldown reduction, because I think that's what honestly what makes Ghost so much stronger than a lot of these other, like the Ignites. Maybe Exhaust is probably up there right now, but I think you see so many champions running Ghost right now because of his low cooldown, and a lot of these like non-mobile champions, especially in the mid lane, maybe some 80, well not really 80 carries, you gotta take Flash Shield, top laners that can really benefit from that extra mobility with Ghost, especially on such a low cooldown. You can almost spam almost every fight, so. Revealer indicator. Well, I've added the revealed particle to Scribe's Bloom. We realized that the old particle is pretty noisy. We're updating the particle to be cleaner and less obstructive. Scryer's eyes, units revealed by Scribe Bloom. Now display revealed particles. Okay. That's exciting, I guess. Lead client update. Let's see. One quick cheers real quick, gentlemen, ladies. Alright. The patch further improves stability and adds a new feature of life improvements to the updated client. Let's see, new features. Below are the major features added to the League Update client. Movable chat. Okay, I can dig it. That's exciting. I wonder if I can put that like in a dual monitor. You now can move your chat around the chat, out of the chat window, kind of like you did with the Twitch chat. I'm assuming that'd be really nice. The news tab to update a client. This will act as a hub to players to catch up on the latest in League of Legends community creations. Okay, so like a little news tab. That can be nice for the people that are very involved in the community. Not too worried about the notable fixes. Highlights video recording settings. We've added the ability to manually toggle the video quality for recording. Okay, well that'd be good for those who like to use the video recording thing. I could dig it. Rotating game modes. I've never even played this. Attack, defend, repeat, Nexus Siege, blast back into rotation. Take turns charging and protecting Nexus with a crazy arsenal of unique and mega powerful siege weapons. Earn the fastest base destruction attack mode and victory is yours. Average gaming 25 minutes? Meh, I'll try it. Q health update, I'm not even gonna look into it. I don't care about all the bugs, it's way too much to read. Upcoming skins in Chroma. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, it only makes sense to see Heartseeker Quinn and Heartseeker Lucian. Chromas to Popstar Ari, which I actually think I have that skin, so I might get a Chroma for it. And a Chroma to Prestigious LeBlanc. So, That said, guess a pretty good patch. I feel like this patch was definitely a lot more needed than what the first patch hit. Still insanely shocked that Camille Rengar did not see get touched again. Few caught me by surprise, like the Darius one, but I definitely think it made sense. A few little tweaks to other people, maybe keep them healthier. So I kind of see what they're doing here. So like, obviously this jungle is taking a big hit, but with that said, with the jungle being so much harder to clear, like that Gragas, the one I said wasn't overly his problem, maybe it would have been his problem now with all these buffs, like Nidalee getting her heal up. So it's like they're being counterintuitive in my opinion. They're giving you better sustain within the champion itself, but not for the jungle. Like they're really directing the flow of the junglers they want to see, in my opinion. Like Gragas, I think, is actually going to be pretty strong now because his clear should be significant based off his buffs. Nidalee, I think she might still struggle. Graves, I think that'll just help the lesser people that aren't that good with him. Like myself, I'm absolutely horrible at Graves, so being able to keep your True Grit up off of anything would be nice for your clear. Warwick, can't wait to play him. Overall, good patch. Still need to see a few more things. We've got Redemption finally got hit. Colossus sounds like it's in a better state. I like the fact that it's more on execution than just proccing the shield itself. Yeah, I guess there's nothing else to really see. I'm looking forward to trying out. I'm looking forward to trying out. Like I think I might play Talon. I see like Talon being like Kha'Zix. If he wasn't strong before, like the Kha'Zix, no, that should have been nerfed a little bit. Dustblade, Drakthar, and Edge of Night, both fantastic on Kha'Zix. So I'm really looking forward to playing, and those will definitely be built on them, if I had to assume. So with that said, thanks everybody for hanging around, checking it out. If you haven't subscribed, which I know most of you haven't, considering I only have 6 and I'm still new to this, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, get updates on my next patch notes when it comes out, and maybe videos that I might be posting as well. Go ahead, follow me on Twitch, even if I'm not live right now. If you follow me, it will let you know. If you turn on notifications, it'll like enable notifications when streamer goes live. Then anytime I'm on, come on, hang out, check me out. Like I said, if I can ever get a good showing of, let's say, 10 to 15 people on one night, looking to do some kind of giveaway possibly, maybe like a mystery scan, nothing big, nothing huge. So hashtag sellout, doing what I can, try to build a viewership, get a community going. So thank you all very much. Y'all have a good day.